Avatar! Know that Britannia has entered into a new age of enlightenment. Know that the time has finally come for the one true Lord of Britannia to take his place at the head of his people. Under my guidance, Britannia will flourish, and all of the people shall rejoice and pay homage to their new guardian. Know that you too shall kneel before me, Avatar. You too will soon acknowledge my authority, for I shall be your companion, your provider, and your master.
So, my name is Jesse, and I have been playing DOS games since they were invented. Unfortunately, there are a few that while I love theoretically, I never actually played. And this is the one that is a life goal of mine, is completing Ultima 7. Now, I'm a huge fan of a YouTuber by the name of Ghost LPs. If you've not seen Gene's channel, you should definitely check him out because he's awesome. I've nagged him more than a few times to go ahead and play Ultima 7 for me, and he's just not going to do it, and I don't blame him. Not everybody is wired that way. But if you want something done right, sometimes you have to do it yourself, and so I'm going to be trying to follow Gene's formula a little bit and doing half-hour sessions as I can to try and play through the game. Now, I'll warn you ahead of time, I have 8 kids. Yeah, I know how that happens. So you'll probably hear a little bit of side chat going on as the kids run around the house. You're also going to have to deal with me doing voiceovers because as somebody who watches a lot of game streams, I can't stand text-based games with no text that don't actually have any kind of audio at all. So I don't do voices, that's not my thing, but I will be reading the audio out. If you're looking for a no commentary run, they're out there. So with that said, let's get cracking. So we are going to start a new game. The avatar's name is going to be Paulus, because why not? I will keep him male, because I'm male, and on we go. It's horrible, I know, it is shocking. Who could have done it? I know not. He had no enemies. Poor man. What is to be done? I know not. A rather large and familiar man looks up and sees you. The shock that is evident from his dumbfounded expression quickly evolves into delight. He smiles broadly. Paulus, if I did not trust the infallibility of mine own eyes, I would not believe it. I was just thinking to myself, if only the Avatar were here. Then, lo and behold, who says that magic is dying? Here's living proof that it is not. Dost thou realize, Paulus, that it hath been 200 Britannian years since we last met? Why, thou hast not aged at all. Iolo winks conspiratorially. He whispers, due no doubt to the difference in the structure of time in our original homeland and that of Britannia. He resumes speaking aloud. I've aged a little, as thou can see. But of course, I have stayed here in Britannia all this time. Oh, but Avatar, wait until I tell the others. They will be happy to see thee. Welcome to Trinsic. The distraught peasant interrupts Iolo. Show him the stables, my lord. 'Tis horrible. Iolo nods, his joy fading quickly as he's reminded of the reason he was standing there in the first place. Ah, yes. Our friend Peter here has discovered something truly ghastly this morning. Take a look inside the stables. I shall accompany you. Now, I'm not going to be able to get to the stables because some things are going to happen here. First of all, you saw the earthquake. Everybody's jumping around, including the dog, which is kind of Rudolph with the red nose. All is not right in Britannia. Perhaps Lord British will know the reason behind this tremor. You see a middle-aged nobleman. Iolo, who is this stranger? Why, this is the Avatar, Iolo proudly proclaims. Canst thou believe it? May I introduce thee? This is Finnegan, the town mayor. And this is Paulus, the Avatar. I simply cannot believe he is here. And by the way, I cannot get past making Aang jokes every time I hear the Avatar, but, he came first. The mayor looks you up and down, not sure if he believes Iolo or not. He looks at Iolo skeptically. I swear to thee, it is the Avatar. The mayor looks at you again, as if he were studying every pore on your face. Finally, he smiles. Welcome, Avatar. And just as suddenly, Finnegan's face becomes stern. A horrible murder has occurred. If thou art truly the Avatar, perhaps thou canst help us to solve it. I would feel better if thou takest this matter into thine hands. Thou shalt be handsomely rewarded if thou dost discover the name of the killer. Dost thou accept? I'm not going to say no to that. Yes. Peter here knows something about all of this. The peasant interjects, I discovered poor Christopher in the gargoyle in Amo early this morning. The mayor continues, hast thou searched the stables? Well, I was about to before you walked up. No. Then I suggest thou lookest inside and talkest to me again. And now we can act. The game interface, while there is the ability to move the avatar around with the arrow keys on the keyboard, it's not really all that useful because he doesn't move that quick and the directions are kind of weird. The mouse is almost 100% mouse driven, so right click and walk. And the further up the screen, ooh, well that's horrible. The further up you move the mouse cursor, you can see that the cursor elongates as you move around. That's speed. So we have somebody that's been mutilated, and there's a key on the ground. So we'll open up our inventory by clicking on ourselves. We'll open up our bag here, and we'll drag the key into it. Get used to seeing this kind of inventory management because we'll be spending most of the game doing that. Since I'm here, by the way, I'm going to pop open Iolo. He's carrying a crossbow and some quarrels and some basic leather armor. And he's also got this thing, the abacus. The abacus, if you double click it, tells you how much gold between all of the members of the party you actually have. When you spend it, I'm going to let Iolo play pack mule for our gold. When you spend it, it draws from everybody, but I like having the avatar having his abacus handy because his is the first inventory you pop. The inventory control system is a little bit difficult to manage because you've got to use bags in bags in order to try and sort it out, but you'll see. I'm going to let Iolo carry our food for now. I'll get him a bag a little later on. The torch I'll hang on to because I'm going to have a torch bearer here in a little bit. Cups I think you can use in order to try and draw water, but drinking really isn't as important as eating, so I'm going to hang on to my abacus and the map, and you can see the entire map of Britannia, but this will have another function that we're going to get a little bit sooner, or a little bit later on, and I've got the key, so I'll close that out, that out, that out, and I think you can just hit escape and dismiss them all, which is a little easy. So we got a bucket of blood on the floor, that's kind of gross. If we double click the body, nothing happens, so the victim isn't carrying anything. That was Christopher. So then we've got the body of a gargoyle, looks to have been bolted to the wall. If we double click him, this coffin kind of thing is what you loot from. Looks like he's empty, but we do have some gargoyle jewelry in a bag with some basic odds and ends in it that might be useful later. So what we'll do is we will use the bag for food. Torch. Again, I'm going to have a torch bearer in a little bit, so I'll have the avatar carry that. Food. Food. The cups I probably will not keep. And the gold I will add to the stack here. Okay. And that bag goes to Iolo, as does the jewelry. Okay, so we've got footprints leading away. You see a distraught peasant Art thou really the Avatar? Yep. Peter bows before you, my lord. And I've got some kids freaking out, so I'm going to pause here and figure out what's going on. As I was saying, excuse me, Peter bows before you, my lord. Okay, when the Avatar is talking to people, he has name, job, and buy as his primary means of communicating, and you'll see a lot of jokes about that. It's an old Ultima trope. Name: I'm called Peter, the man sniffs. Job: I am the stable's caretaker. Okay, what do we know about the murder? I discovered poor Christopher in Anamo earlier this morning. I did not touch a thing. Made me sick, it did. Footprints. They doth lead out the back way, yes? They must be the tracks of the murderer. His eyes widen a bit more. Or murderers. Stables. I've worked here for years. I can sell thee a nice horse and carriage if thou dost want one. The animal and the carriage are located in a small shelter just outside the north gate of town. Right now, the place gives me the creeps. His eyes are wild with fright. Christopher. Nice man. He made the shoes for my horses. He worked for very little money, did basic chores around the stables and the pub. I let him sleep in the little back room. He must have been in the wrong place at the wrong time. Carriage. The horse and carriage combination sell for 60 gold. Dost thou want a title? Well, I can't afford one even if I did, and I don't. No, some other time then. Bye. Goodbye, the man sniffs. So if we follow these out, the horse does nothing. The stairs, and then the trail runs cold. So now the town pretty much opens up, so we can go wherever we want. We can talk to the guard here. Did you see anything, dude? You see an alert and no-nonsense guard. Name? Johnson. Job? I have the morning watch guarding the dock. I authorize the comings and goings of every ship. Murder? I did hear of this. When I arrived at my post at sunrise, I found Gilberto lying felled on the ground. If thou art asking if I saw anything, I did not. No one hath passed by me since I arrived at the dock. Ship? If thou dost want a ship, thou must get a deed from the shipwright. Thou must also have a password to leave town. Password? What is it? Well, I don't know it yet. I don't know. Thou dost not know the password. I am sorry. The mayor, he may give thee the password. Deed? Thou canst purchase that from Gargan the shipwright. Bye. Good day. Alright, so he was on the morning watch. He didn't see anything, but Gilberto did. So we probably want to talk to Gilberto. By the way, if we want some water, this is pretty cool. We can take the bucket, just double-clicked it. Now I have a reticle where I want to put it. I want to put it in the... Hey, it didn't work. Double-click on the well. Yeah, you do. I know that works. That's weird. It should do the... That is really freaking weird. It should connect into the well and then let me lower it and then pull water back up. It's not doing that now. I don't need water right now, so not a big deal. Oh, what building this is on the plaque out front. Ultima uses a very particular style of runes to generate the text that you see in a lot of the signs, and the manual includes it. I don't know if that's a form of copy protection or just trying to be cool. I'm a little slow sounding this stuff out, but this says the Honorable Hound. The Honorable Hound. Sounds like an inn name. And yep, it sure is an inn. So we got tables and chairs, and we can do pretty nifty stuff like double click a chair and sit down, and YOLO will too. But let's go talk to this lady who's probably the proprietor. You see a gorgeous and voluptuous woman in her 30s. Name? My name is Apollonia, she says as her tongue licks her upper lip. Job? Why, I run the Honorable Hound, pub and inn, she purrs. Wouldst thou like a room, or wouldst thou like something to eat or drink? Just say so, and I shall try and please thee with my delicacies. You realize she's flirting with you. You think? What do you know about the murder? Apollonia shuts her eyes and shakes her head as if she had just bitten into a very sour lemon. Ooh, that was so hideous. How could anyone do something so horrible? Art thou searching for information? I do hope thou dost find the person responsible. What about the Honorable Hound? I can think of no better place in all of Trinsic to lay thine head to rest or nibble upon treats to satisfy thine appetite. Oh, boy. Food? We serve the finest meat, fish, and cake. Our specialty is a silver-leaf meal. If thou wouldst like to buy something, please say so. Drink? I can offer thee mead, wine, and ale. Room? Our rooms are cheap. Only 6 gold per person per night. Want a room? No. Some other night, then. Silverleaf. What a delicacy. It is the most wonderful delicacy that thou shalt ever eat. It is worth every gold piece spent. I can flirt with her, or I can buy stuff. I'm curious where flirt goes. Apollonia blushes and bats her eyelashes. Oh, Paulus, I would wager that thou dost say that to all the barmaids. Groan. Okay, see you later, Apollonia. Apollonia blows a kiss at you. Do come again. And at the end of the bar, there's a book. It is a register. So, Walter of Britain, Jaff of Yew, Jana, and Atans of Serpent's Hold have stayed here. Nifty. Now, if you try and steal some of the people with you, your party will say it's dishonorable and they'll run off. There are ways around that. For example, you can actually put the inventory directly in your party members' bags and then they don't gripe. I'm going to try and play this as straight as I can with a few small exceptions. I'm not going to play a thief. The Fellowship Hall. The Fellowship is a huge part of this game. So we'll open up. Dude in the hood. Hello, dude in the hood. This man exudes kindness and geniality. Avatar, I recognize thee at once. Word has moved through town quickly. I had heard thou wert here. Name? My name is Clog. Job? I am the Trinsic branch leader for the Fellowship. I work here with my wife, Ellen. Murdered? Well, the man says, reflecting, I was at home all night, and my wife, Ellen, will certainly verify that. But, as we say in the Fellowship, worthiness precedes reward. Christopher must have done something bad. Poor gargoyle and Amma. 'Tis a pity. Fellowship. Now, this speech that Clog is about to give us, a lot of the characters are going to repeat. They all read from the same hymnal. I'm going to read this once, and I'm not going to keep reading this over and over again. The Fellowship meets here at the branch office in Trinsic every night at 9. Thou art welcome to attend. The Fellowship is a society of spiritual seekers who strive to reach the highest levels of human potential and to share this philosophy freely with all people. The Fellowship was formed 20 years ago by Battling with the full approval and support of Lord British. Philosophy. This is the speech. The Fellowship advances the philosophy of sanguine condition, a way to apply a confident order of thought to one's life through what is called the triad of inner strength. The triad is simply 3 basic principles that, when applied in unison, enable one to be more creative, satisfied, and successful in life. They are strive for unity, trust thy brother, and worthiness precedes reward. Strive for unity basically means that people should cooperate and work together. Trust thy brother implies that we are all the same and we should not hate or fear each other. Worthiness precedes reward suggests that we must each strive to be worthy of that which we want out of life. Dost thou want to join? Not really, but let's go ahead and say yes. Yes. Then thou shouldst go immediately to see Batlin at the Fellowship Hall headquarters in Britain, which we're definitely going to do. Ellen. She's my wife and bookkeeper for our branch. Christopher. Christopher was a valued member of the Fellowship for some time. Unfortunately, we got into a petty argument last week. Oh, what was the argument? Last week, Christopher stated that he wanted to leave the Fellowship. Canst thou imagine? Well, we simply attempted to speak with him and alter his decision. The man verbally assaulted me and my companions with no provocation. Companions? They've gone to Fellowship headquarters in Britain. They were here delivering Fellowship funds. Their names are Elizabeth and Abraham. What about Nana? I did not know the gargoyle. It sounds as if he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. 'Tis a pity. Bye. If there's anything else I might help thee with, Paulus, let me know. Okay, so let's talk to the wife real fast. This is a woman who seems pleasant and welcoming. I'm proud to meet the Avatar, she says, beaming. You notice the little triangle at her throat, by the way, that's the Fellowship symbol. Most of the character models that are Fellowship members will wear that somehow. Name? My name bookkeeping at the Fellowship branch. I work with my husband, Clog. Murder? 'Tis awful, is it not? Of course, I was home with Clog all night. Fellowship. And here we go again. I'm not reading that speech. Branch. The Fellowship has branches all over Britannia. It is the most popular philosophical society. I'm not going to ask philosopher Clog. My husband. Clog is a wonderful branch leader. He's an inspiration to all of the Trinsic members. Bye. Goodbye. I hope to see thee again soon. Alright. So we'll walk north a little bit. There's street signs. Avenue of the Fellowship with C. Chalice Avenue. Chalice Avenue. Got an anchor here. This must be our friend, Gargamel. What was his name? This dude. You see a salty old sailor who reeks of tobacco. Name? My name is Gargan. He sniffs loudly. Gargan, not Gargamel. Job? I am the Trinsic shipwright. If thou wouldst like to know about a ship or sextant, just say so. Gargan coughs. Actually, sextants, remember I said there was a thing about the map. Those are really useful, so I'm going to go ahead and ask him for one. I sell sextants for 80 gold. Want one? Gargan clears his throat. Yep, I really do. Uh-oh. Thou dost not have enough gold, sailor. Gargan sneezes. I keep forgetting I'm broke. Murder? I heard about that. Terrible thing to happen. Can't say I saw or heard anything, though. Gargan coughs, clears his throat loudly, and spits. He's a nasty-looking guy. Ship? Thou dost want to buy a ship? The old man asks, smiling. Apparently not too many folks buy ships these days. My ships are sturdy and well built. They might not be built by Owen, but they are the finest vessels. But thou must first purchase a deed. Gargan wipes his runny nose on his sleeve. Owen? Thou hast not heard of Owen? Finest shipwright in the land. He lives in Minok. Gargan coughs. Feeling all right, man? Gargan coughs, wheezes, and then lights his pipe. On inhaling, he has a coughing spasm until he finally catches his breath. Never felt better. Bye. May thy day have smooth sailing, the sailor starts to say, but a coughing spasm interrupts him. Gargan is not the picture of health. Oh, nobody home. We got a fountain. Door, no sign. There's a pedestal here. Nothing on it. It's going to become important later. So, I believe this is the mayor. Yep. Hast thou properly searched the stables? Yep, sure did. What didst thou find? We found a key. A key. Perhaps if thou dost ask Christopher's son about it, he may know what it's for. Murder? A crime like this has never happened in Trinsic before. I cannot believe this happened to Christopher and Anamo. Please, explore the town. I would appreciate it if thou wouldst bring me a report on thy progress. Be sure to ask everyone in town about the murder. After speaking with Christopher's son, thou mightest next want to speak with Gilberto, the guard on watch at the dock last night. The mayor hesitates, then leans in to speak quietly. Actually, I have seen something like this before. It was about 4 years ago in Britain. Really? Britain? This was before I came to Trinsic. There was a murder with strikingly similar aspects. A body was found mutilated exactly like poor Christopher. It appeared to be a ritualistic killing. I would wager that whoever was responsible for that murder is the culprit behind this one. Gilberto? He was struck from behind early this morning and was knocked senseless. Johnson, the morning watch, found him unconscious. He's recuperating at Shantu the healer's house on the west side of town. Christopher? Christopher was the local blacksmith. He lived, with his son in the northwest part of town. The blacksmith shop is in the southwest corner. Christopher was not a rich man by any means. He barely kept himself and his son alive, but he certainly enjoyed his work. Son? Christopher's son is called Spark. Their house is in the northwest area of town. Shantu? He is our town healer. He hath been here for years. Nice fellow. Johnson? He's probably at the dock right now. Anamo? The gargoyle Anamo slept in the stables, as I understand it. I believe he immigrated here from Turfin a few months ago. It seems that he was merely a chance victim of someone intent on violence. Now, I could do the password and report thing, but I'm not ready for that yet. I've still got more poking about in town to do, so I'm going to say bye. The mayor nods his head at you and goes on about his business. Now, if we take a look at this wall right here, there's kind of this little square. It is a secret passage. And there's this other little square. It's another secret passage. So I'm going to step in here for a moment. And there's a chest in the corner that has gold and a rapier in it. Now, while I said I'm going to be playing an honest avatar, I am going to loot this one. Oh, wrong bag. Got YOLO carrying the money. So we'll give him the money, 46 coins. Close that out. I'm going to get rid of the dagger because it's kind of worthless. And I'm going to arm the avatar with the rapier. And leave. Uh-oh, I locked the YOLO in. I'm curious to see if he's going to make his way out. Yeah, he just magically materializes. Alright, so I'm heading over to the southwest corner of the town where we see a broken down door. Well, that's not at all ominous. So this is the blacksmith shop. Oh dear. We vomited and things are moving around. There's definitely some weirdness going on in this place. Not too weird for me to loot it, mind. Just weird. Now the game pauses whenever you're in the inventory screens, so I'm just gonna loot until Daddy takes the T-bird away here. Won't fit. Because he's over encumbered, or what's the deal with that? If we look at his stats, which are this little guy. Strength, dex, combat, magic, hits, mana, experience level, training. So it doesn't really talk to encumbrance at all. I wonder if it's because we've got the gold there. So if I were to, yes, put all the gold in the bag and close the bag. Can I then put the bag in? Yes, I can. All right, so food and victuals and bag. All right. Now there's a whole lot of crates in here. Unfortunately, there's nothing really of value. The crates have another significance. I'm not going to do it, but if you take all of those crates and find a few more because you're a little bit short, and you use them to create a stairwell to go up onto the roof, and then you walk into the chimney, there is a teleport there that takes you basically into a cheat room. It can screw up the game. I'm not going to do it, but it's still pretty cool. So we'll walk to the other corner of town. Got this guy. You see a stern shopkeeper who might once have been a strong fighter. Thou hast entered my shop, so thou had best buy something. Oh, he's a sweetheart, and if you check in the beard, he's a fellowship member. Who might I be addressing? I can say Paulus or the Avatar. I don't like playing somebody that's got that much, what's the word I'm looking for here? Arrogance, so I'm just going to call myself Paulus. My name is Dell. Well, I'm not going to ask him his name because he just told me. Job. Dell looks disgruntled. I sell weapons, armor, and provisions when I'm not doing work for the Fellowship. If thou art not going to buy anything, then get thy face out of my sight. Oh, this guy's so pleasant, I definitely want to give him some money. Murder? I'm afraid I know nothing about it, save for what is being said in the street, so do not ask me. If thou art not going to buy anything, then thou art wasting my time. Go away. YOLO whispers to you. Pleasant chap, is he not? Bye. Spend more money next time thou dost come in. Not a chance. You enjoy yourself there, dude. Trying to remember where that house is. Here we go. There's a parrot and a gavel. And a kid running past. Just out of curiosity, if I take the gavel and I hit the bird with it, I will tell the treasure is at 169 south, 28 east. That's kind of fun. So the kid is Spark. Let's go talk to him right quick. Hey kid, hold still. Hold still. You see a young boy who appears to be a young teen. He is dirty and unkempt. He looks as if he's been crying, but he sits up straight and looks sharp when he sees you. Who art thou, and what dost thou want? You realize the boy has a sling in hand. You face the boy and tell him who you are. He bows. So, what makes thee so special? Boy, this is the Avatar, says Iolo. Upon my word, he is. He's come to help thee. Then the boy narrows his eyes, studying you. He slowly lowers his weapon, ready to act in case it's a trap. You admire the boy's obvious experience in dealing with strangers. You and Spark stare at each other. He's not sure what to do. Finally, he nods his head. All right, I believe thee. Thou dost look like paintings I have seen. I'm sorry, my lord. Name? I've always been called Spark. Job? I have no job. I'm only 14, so I'm just learning how to best help Father in the smithy, he says proudly. But then he suddenly realizes something which terrifies him. And now that Father is dead, I'm an orphan. Murder? I cannot believe Father is dead, and poor Anamo, too. It's so strange. I dreamed it was happening. Well, in a way. Last night I was having a nightmare about Father. I dreamed that he screamed, and it woke me up. I looked around the house, but he was not in his bed. I was wide awake, so I went out to find him. I have this key, kid. That looked like the key to Father's chest. I wondered where it was. Smithy? Father was the best blacksmith in Britannia. People were always coming from everywhere to get him to make this and that. Father? Father was the blacksmith. I cannot believe he's been murdered. He had no enemies that I know of. Unless it was the Fellowship. Orphan? My mother died a long time ago. I can just barely remember her. Inama? He was a very nice gargoyle. He helped Father a lot and did tasks in the stables. I cannot think why anyone would want to kill him. Nightmare? I know it sounds witless, but I dreamed that a big red-faced man was watching down on everything, and he looked down, and he noticed Father. That's all I remember. Find? No, I did not find him, at least not right away, but I did see something. Something? I was in front of the stables. I saw a man and a wingless gargoyle running from behind the building. They ran toward the dock. Then I went inside and found Father. Spark's voice falters and he begins to sob a little. Man? All I saw of him was that the man had a hook for a right hand. Hook? Wilt thou find the man with the hook? Let me help thee, the boy pleads. His tears cease and his face takes on a determined, forceful look. Take me with thee, please. I must avenge my father's death. If thou dost not take me with thee, I will follow thee anyway. The boy is all excited now. I'm an expert with a slingshot. I can strike sewer rats with almost every shot. And I'm small. I don't eat much. Please take me. Please ask me to join thee. Iolo whispers to you, I don't know about taking the child on the road with us, my lord. Suddenly, Spark lets his sling fly. His target, a small fly hovering above Iolo's head, is smacked out of the air. You laugh as Iolo yelps, jumps away and curses, runs his fingers through his hair. I told thee I'm good. May I join? Sure. Yes. Hooray! The boy leaps with delight. Fellowship? Well, at first they harassed Father and me when they came around asking us to join. I suppose they do good things. Many people like them. Father eventually joined the group after he went to Britain and took one of their tests. Tests? I do not know anything about them. I never took one. Maybe thou shouldst ask the man at the Fellowship branch, Clog. Clog? He's the head of the Fellowship branch here in Trinsic. He and Father got into an argument a week ago when Clog and two of his friends came over to talk with Father. Friends? I don't remember what they look like. I did not recognize them. They were most likely some other members of the Fellowship. Argument? I don't know what it was about. Perhaps thou should ask Clog. I did. He wasn't any help. Branch? The Fellowship has branches all over Britannia. Gargoyle? I cannot tell one gargoyle from another. I could not identify him, except he had no wings. If you say leave, that's asking a party member to leave you, and they go back, if I remember correctly, where you found them, but I'm not going to do that, so I'm going to say bye. All right, I will speak with thee later. So now, we have Spark following us around. I've already beat the parrot. And we've got a bedroom. Now, we're going to go into the inventory here. We have that key that we had from the crime scene. I'm going to leave the key here because I won't be needing it. And open the chest. Check it out. We've got a Fellowship medallion. 100 gold coins, which of course we are going to take in order to help raise Spark in Christopher's absence. And we're going to read the note. Thou hast received payment. Make the delivery tonight. Wonder what Christopher took payment for. Alright. And at this point, I think we've got about as much as I'm going to do in a single sitting. So I'm going to get myself back into Town Square, and I've been playing a little bit beforehand, so I'm going to call this Good Borrowing from Gene. Thank you, Gene. Hold on, starting out. Oh, yeah, and save. And that's it for now. Thanks, folks.